Hello everybody, this is Gregory with how I lost over 100 pounds and kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and in your weight maintenance. Today I'm going to continue the series Reflections of a Weight Loss Warrior and answer the question, am I an exercise addict? Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also in the episode notes, see links to my podcast, my hairy chest, my website Naturopathic Earth, which has tons of articles and recipes. Check out my books, and lastly, if you appreciate my content, make a donation via PayPal. All right, so I thought after coming to the tail end of Confessions of an Obese Shot and Revelations of a Weight Loss Warrior, I thought it'd be good to ask this question. Am I an exercise addict? I would say that early on, like around Reflections number 1 or 2 when I was in college, I would certainly say yes, because I was going several days working out, 37, 38 days in a row with no break. And I think back then I would have been much more petrified not to work out in a given day than today. What is an exercise addict? I guess it's somebody who can't live without that item. Or I guess it should be alcohol dependent. Like, for example, exercise dependent. Like, the definition difference between alcohol dependent and alcoholic is an alcohol dependent is dependent on the alcohol. They need at least, and not to be considered an alcohol dependent, you have to drink less than 10 drinks a week for a woman and 14 drinks a week or less for a man. So if you drink more than that, you're alcohol dependent, meaning you're dependent on the alcohol. Alcoholics are defined by that because alcohol negatively affects their relationships or their work. So you can be essentially like we call functional alcoholic, and it doesn't hurt your job. Now, when it comes to exercise, I would say it's kind of the same thing here. I think to keep your weight off for several years, you do have to change your paradigm, and you do have to work out quite often. Do you need to work out every day? No, not necessarily. When I travel, as I mentioned in a previous episode, I don't always work out. Most Sundays, I don't work out. The most, I'll just lie down in the dry sauna. But do I feel like my day's incomplete if I don't take a walk or if I don't exercise? Yes. I do get a little antsy because I like the dopamine high. I like the runner's high. I like the sweating, and I like just checking off my list. No different than making the bed. I like making the bed. No different than taking my vitamin D pill or eating my dark chocolate or drinking my green tea every day. I feel like there's something missing if I don't do it. Now, I don't think, aside from a couple of trips to Europe where I didn't do anything like hard cardio for a week or two, I've never gone prolonged amount of time without doing cardio. I've been blessed, and in the last 30 years, I've never had an injury that has incapacitated me from doing cardio completely. There have been a couple of times I had shin splints where I couldn't run, but I could do the elliptical or do the rower. But I don't know what it would be like not to do any cardio for, let's say, a month. I don't know. I probably would not be happy with that. But am I addicted? I don't know. I think there's good things to be addicted to, so long as they don't fully preoccupy your life. Because people would say like you shouldn't be addicted to certain things. Like, there's no such thing as a good addiction. Now some would say, okay, what about prayer? Well, if you're praying, unless you're a cloistered nun or a monk, which your job is essentially to be praying most of the day, if you're praying all day where it's not allowing you to work or interact with your family, then that is a bad addiction. My workouts are no more than 2 hours a day if I include the cardio and the strength training and the dry sauna and showering and shaving and all these things. So it doesn't occupy a large amount of time. So in closing, do I like working out? Yes. Do I like working out every day? Yes. Am I addicted to it? I don't know. Probably not. I would say in my 20s I was. And even if I was addicted to it now, is that necessarily a bad thing when exercise improves your longevity, your quality of life, your cardiac output, and other things? So I would say, like, if you need to lose weight, there's worse things to be addicted to than exercise, because there's so many good benefits to it. I'd like to hear from you guys. Post in the comments, hit the like and notification buttons. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.